I've been in a relationship since 2006, married since 2012, two beautiful boys. I'm a dad, I'm an entrepreneur, I work within an organization as well, and I've also coached many CEOs and professionals in order to have better relationship, because when they have better relationship, they are happier, more fulfilled, more productive, they make more money, and they are the super dad that the kids will always remember. In this video, I'm going to reveal to you why love isn't enough to save your relationship and have it thrive, and what you can do instead. Are you ready? Let's rock! Love. Alright, let's get started with why love isn't enough in order to save your relationship. Once you finish the honeymoon phase, love isn't really the source of your relationship, it's the product of a well-maintained relationship. In other words, love becomes work. And before you freak out and you get out of your romantic idea of love, if you still have some, think about it. Muscles are the product of you going to the gym and eating well and recovering. It's not the other way around. It's not that muscle that gets you to go to the gym. So you want to have the same for your relationship. Of course we want love, of course we want muscle, but in order to get these results, this product, we need to do the required things. And it's confusing because the beginning of a relationship is filled with love because we are doing the work without thinking about it. If you take a moment and think about the beginning of your last relationship, you were on your A game. You were dressing well, you were smelling good, you were brushing your teeth, you were working out, you were thinking of clever things to say, you were listening carefully to what the person in front of you was saying, and then maybe you stopped doing some of those as time went by because you got used to having the person in your life, and now it doesn't matter if you forgot to brush your teeth this morning and you kind of know what she's talking about, but you're not listening deeply. And then next thing you know, love disappears, or love isn't inside. It's just a logical process, not an easy one, but a logical one. I cannot stress enough how many business owners and how many professionals I've seen destroy their career because they went in automatic mode in their relationship. It's like, yeah, it's cool, we are good at home. And so they put their energy into their work, and then a few things can happen if they rely solely on love. Well, they might fall in love with something else or someone else. You know, the hot secretary at work, this incredible client, this colleague who's kicking ass and so much different than the wife at home. Or just the work in itself, the thrill of the new deal, the thrill of the new clients, the thrill of the promotion. Or a hobby. It's so much fun to go and play soccer with the boys, and it's so much fun to watch this TV show. And then progressively, love is still there, but goes not to the right person. For me, I consider my wife as my life partner, as in business partner, as in I really want this relationship to work forever, you know, as long as we're on this earth. And that requires work, just like any business relationship would. So love really isn't enough. You need rituals, you need structures. I almost spoiled the rest of this video. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you 3 techniques that you can use in order to take the right action so that you get love in your relationship, so that you can go back at being productive as a dad and in your work. Let's rock again. No more musical cue. Let's get into number 1, which is date night. Now, that might sound cringe, especially if you're new in your relationship, but having a pre-planned date night for your relationship is key to survival as a couple. Especially after you have kids. If both of you are working, she comes back from work tired, or you finish your day, your shift, and you're tired, the natural thing you want to do is Netflix, and not even chill, just Netflix. But you can't, because you need to overcome another hurdle, which is taking care of your kids. So you're a great dad, you do it anyway, but you really just want some calm and chill. And your wife or your partner might want the same thing. And then if you both listen to this, then you will both go separate way. Maybe you will deal with something together. Or have you paid that? Oh yeah, did you remind this? Or are we going to your mom's this weekend? And then once this is solved, you will go each your own way to focus on her show about Queen Elizabeth and your show about Mr. Robot. That's okay to some extent. What we've started redoing is having a date night. Wednesday evening, no matter what, we have time in the calendar to spend time together. What we don't do during this date night is we don't solve stuff. We don't talk about the house reconstruction. We don't talk about the kids' activity, that we need to pay this, we need to do that, who's going to bring who to which activity. We just talk about what we want and spend time together. Sometimes we watch a movie, sometimes we watch a TV show, but we really make sure that we always talk. I was talking about it being like a muscle that you train. The first time you do it, it might feel cringe. You might even get into a fight. That happened to us. Keep doing it. Go through the pain. The next time is going to be maybe less cringe, more flowy. The third time you might have a deep philosophical conversation. The fourth time, who knows, you might even have sex. But let's not go there. It's not really about sex. Interestingly, that can be a completely separate path where you have a fairly passionate life where your sex life is still active, but there's no really a connection with your wife in terms of exchanging emotions and building love. So date night is the first thing that I recommend and that I practice in order to maintain this relationship for over 18 years. Yes! Woo! If you enjoyed this content and if you want me to talk more about the relationship side of being a productive dad, let me know in the comments. This way I know that you like it. And the most direct path for me to know that you like it is to like this video. Thank you. Moving on, what you can do in order to cultivate love in your relationship is to recognize your mistake. I know, you don't make that many mistakes. I know, you're great. I love you, you're a great dad, great husband, great partner. But sometimes you fuck up. Sometimes, just like me, you make a mistake. And it's difficult to recognize. Every time you manage to take a deep breath, let go of your ego, and come back to your partner and be like, you know what, you were right. This is how we should have done it. This is how we're going to do it next. You gain 1 million love points because that shows that you are an adult and that you can recognize your own mistakes and that you can grow from it. Now, here's a pro tip. You don't need to do it right away. If you can, then awesome. You got the X2 bonus and probably gonna get some funky action in bed later today. But even if it takes you, an hour or even a day or even a week, that's still valuable. Last week you said this, I said that. You are right, I apologize, I was a jerk, sorry about that, I'll do my best to act differently next time. Women have a very interesting memory, very selective memory, and stuff they have in a little corner of their brain that's never disappear until you address it. So do take the time to recognize your mistake if you want to be a productive dad. Because let's talk about it. How much productive do you feel when you have the full support of your spouse? Coming back from work, you're like, oh, honey, I've done this, I've done that. And how much better it is when you have someone who can be like, oh, wow, you rock. I respect you for doing that. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Versus if you have a cold wall in front of you. Let me know in the comments if you have some personal story about that. Moving on to the next point that you can do in order to cultivate love in your relationship is to listen more. I know, sometimes you're tired. Sometimes I'm tired. And take a deep breath and listen. Make it a game too. Try to understand what she's saying and what she's saying between the lines and detach yourself from this exchange and just listen to what she's really saying. And the pro tip, I saw that in a stupid TV show. It wasn't How I Met Your Mother, but like the same level. And the trick was just to look at the person and be like, yeah, that sucks. Or I understand you. Without trying to solve it. Because we men, we like to fix stuff. Oh, you got a problem? Let me fix it. And sometimes that's helpful. More often than not, just listening and be present with the other is what will rekindle the love and make her feel understood. Because you're such an amazing dad and partner, I'm going to share a bonus thing that you can do to rekindle the love. Before you do that, let me know in the comments which one of the 3 that I've shared so far do you need to take action this week. This week, are you going to re-implement date night? Are you going to recognize your mistake? Are you going to listen more and make it a game? Let me know in the comment below, and while you are at it, why don't you share it with a dad who could use this kind of advice in order to reclaim their productivity and peace of mind. Thank you. Now, the bonus is actually, I mentioned it in the beginning, it's about training your love muscle. And what it means is recognize the small thing that your spouse or wife is doing that you really enjoy. That you really like, wow, she kicks ass. Yesterday was Sunday. My wife received a call at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning because she had some F up at work and she needed to take, not her fault, but she was responsible for the team, so she had to do something. And I just looked at her half asleep and I was like, wow, you're an amazing leader and I really respect that about you. And I say that not from a manipulative way, not because I had watched this YouTube video, because I hadn't recorded it. I've said that because I just felt it. But I felt it because I had trained myself to look for the things that my wife does that make me proud and happy. So train this love muscle and express it to your spouse in order to increase the love in your relationship. Love is not the source. Love is the product of you working on your relationship, just like muscle is the product of you going to the gym. And let me use all of my muscle to tell you that I love you, that you rock, and as usual, peace!